Hey everybody, it's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and today I'm going to show you how to play Happy Christmas, War is Over by John Lennon. Let's just take a quick look at what we're going to be learning here.
So this is Christmas. What have you done? Another year over, and a new one just begun. So this is Christmas. I hope you have fun. The near and the dear one, the old and the young. A very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one, without any fear. So this is Christmas, the weak and for strong, the rich and the poor one.
So as you can see, it's all basic chords, and when you look up the tab online, there's like a B minor bar chord and all that, and we're getting around that by if you want to play with the original recording, you put a capo on the second fret. So the way that we're going to learn it today works with the original recording, super good, but we're avoiding those bar chords and making it a much easier version to play. Before we get started, if you have not yet grabbed your copy of my free ebook, I'll put a link down below and in the corner for that. It's completely free for all my subscribers. To those of you who have subscribed to my channel, I am sincerely thankful for that. If you haven't yet subscribed, just take a second, click subscribe, thumbs up, leave a comment. It really helps me deliver lessons like this to people like you who want to learn guitar. We're going to get started with the chord shapes for the verse. I'll just put them in the corner right here. So you can see we play G 4 times, A minor 4 times, and so on. I want you to take some time to work through those switches. For instance, from G to A minor, there's really no common fingering. So you just got to go through it a whole bunch of times. You know, I recommend, in this particular case, we lift our fingers a bit, we put down our index first for that A minor, and then our middle and ring finger. You know, I'm kind of doing it in that order, like 1, 2. And eventually you can put it all down at once. You know, it takes a while to build up into it. Like I mentioned, I have that free ebook that goes over all this stuff. So please check that out if you need help with your switches. Another notable one is from G to C. That's another one that you really got to work on. But otherwise, these are all just basic open chord shapes. I recommend taking a minute to just downstrokes only, counting to 3 on each chord, because this song is in 3/4, and there aren't a ton of songs in 3/4, but there's enough, you know, and it's worth getting used to counting to 3 over and over again instead of 4 to help build up your rhythm. Just going 1, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, G. Then we switch to A minor, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, counting out loud. 1, 2, 3, 1. You could even start singing at this point. 3, 1, 2,
And a new one just begun. And so this is Christmas.
You know, just doing it like that, counting out loud, and if you're ready, singing before we add that strumming pattern. It's singing and strumming that's really hard to do for a lot of people. You know, singing and moving the chord shapes isn't too bad, but it's the strumming that kind of throws you off. So get the singing in there now before you add the pattern, and it'll be like a huge step forward in that direction. That's it for the chords to the verse. Now, as far as the strumming's concerned, like I mentioned before, this song is in 3/4 time. We're counting to 3 all the time. And then in this strumming pattern, we're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and. On beat 1, we do a downstroke. And then on 2 and 3 and, we go down, up, down, up. The numbers are downstrokes, the ands are upstrokes. That's kind of like a universal rule for strumming. So we go 1, 2, and 3 and. 1, 2, and 3 and. And it's nice to give beat 1 a little bit more, you know? A little bit harder. Not crazy, but just a little bit. It really helps drive the song. You know, I would just practice that. You could even mute the strings. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, just over and over again. You know, you could even load up the original recording and you could slow it down and just do that with the recording without worrying about the chord shapes. You know, that way you can really get like a, however long the song is, like 4-minute workout, just going like that. So this is Christmas, you know, and what have we done? Once you've done that, once you've worked on your chord hand by itself, your rhythm hand by itself, we can put that together. We'll take the chords from the verse and we're going to try that. I'm going to take out my metronome and set it a little bit slower. The original's probably at like 150 beats per minute or something like that. I'm just guessing. 1, 2, 3. So this is Christmas. And what have you done? Another year over, and a new one just begun. And so this is Christmas. I hope you have fun. The near and the dear one, the old and the young. Cool, so that's 2/3 of the song. The only part left is the chorus, and our chorus has an F chord, which you may recognize as a bar chord. One of those tricky chord shapes that takes a lot of hand strength and all that. But I have a much simpler way to do it. We're gonna skip the first string. We'll put our index on the first fret of the B string, same place as the A minor chord. Then our middle finger on the second fret of the next string, on the G string. Our pinky finger on the third fret of the D string, our ring finger on the third fret, just above that on the third fret of the A string. And then my thumb is lightly touching the thickest string, not required, but it's nice. And the thinnest string, the underside of my index is lightly touching it. And that's a really full sounding chord. It's not much of a compromise, and it's substantially easier than that bar chord. That's the way we're gonna be playing F. The chord shapes are right here. We go from F, G, and then D minor, F. And for that one, there's a bit of a trick to it. We have our D minor chord. We leave our middle finger down and we can pivot into that F. Especially if that's a new shape for you, that's a really good one to practice. D minor into F. And then from F into C, we can leave our index and our ring finger down, lift those other two fingers, and we can pretty easily transition into our C chord. So that's another one I recommend trying out there. You know, it's a really convenient way to play F because it switches pretty easily between a lot of the common chords. There's also C to D, which is another one of those, like, you know, some people call these beginner chords, like they're so easy, but it takes a while to really nail like the switch from C to D, from G to C, and so on. So take your time with that. My free ebook goes over it, like I said. I also have my course, Learn Guitar Once and For All. I'll talk more about that later. Anyways, that's it. Once we get the chorus down, we have the whole song. So let's just practice that with our metronome, with our strumming pattern. As always, you can do the downstrokes only first, and then do this with me. 1, 2, 3. A very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one. Pivot on the middle without any fear. So this is Christmas. And that's it for this tune. You know, you just play the verse, the chorus, verse, chorus, etc. until the song is over. So at this point, I recommend practicing the verse just by itself, like we went over, where you do the downstrokes only, maybe try singing along, then, you know, doing the strumming pattern by itself, getting your hands separately doing their thing, putting it all together nice and slow, taking your time with all that. And once you nail the verse and the chorus, you can put it all together. If you want a full playthrough and you want to play through the entire song with me, I have that available on my Patreon page. I'll put a link down below for that. Also, if you haven't grabbed your free ebook, As I mentioned before, it's completely free, link in the corner. And I also have a beginner course, Learn Guitar Once and For All, which is designed to help you go from absolute beginner, or maybe somebody who has been struggling to kind of get started, like an eternal beginner, always kind of trying to get the chord shapes down and the strumming. It's just not coming together. It's designed specifically for that, for older beginners to catch up to where they deserve to be. So I'll put a link to that in the corner. Otherwise, I appreciate you sticking with me until this point. If you have not yet subscribed, please take a moment to do so now. That way you'll be notified of my other lessons. I have a great lineup and a huge back catalog of lessons for you to learn guitar with me here on YouTube and on my website. Have a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you soon.